Hello, I welcome you all, my dear life accountants. So in today's video we are going to look at another example of a life liability, which is called people pleasing. People pleasing can also be referred to as the act of pleasing people. We have to understand that this act has to do with letting down your true intentions, your true heart desires, your true choices just to please another. This life liability can be a stronghold in your life. And one of the disadvantages of allowing this in your life account is that it will gradually make you lose your true self. Yes, it will make you lose your true self, your true voice, your originality, your authenticity, and eventually your purpose. As a life accountant, this one life liability is something you should eliminate entirely from your life, because a life accountant pleases only one person, which is God, your maker, the one who created you and brought you into this world, the one who gave you the gift of life, and you are accountable to only that person. So any other human being that wants you to go against your will, to hide your voice, to live according to their dictates is wrong. And know that the spirit behind that wants to manipulate you to live a life that is against your will and not in alignment with the one who created you. Remember, as a life accountant, the will God gave us as a life asset is for us to make our personal choices with Him directing us. So when you are not in alignment with the one who created you, therefore you are giving your will to another, and that is not the perfect will of your creator. When you are in the habit of letting others' opinion matter more than yours, when you allow them control your life, when you allow them sit at the driver's seat of your life, when you give them your life accounts to handle, you are losing your authority as a life accountant. And that is not what the one who created you and whom you are accountable to wants. Remember, in the bid to please others, you cannot please God, because you cannot please both God and man. You can only please the one who created you, because you are only accountable to Him. Remember, and you cannot be able to hear Him and obey His will for your life. That is why people pleasing is one of the major life liability that should be entirely eliminated from the life account of a life accountant. I am not in any way discouraging taking advice from people or seeking counsel from people. But what I am against is when you let their voices matter more than yours. When you let their expectation be the lead in your life, and when you allow them dictate your own life. That is where you get it all wrong. One great thing about a life accountant is that a life accountant has that intrinsic ability to choose, to utilize his or her will. That is why, as a life accountant, you should be able to choose your friends, choose your environment, choose what you take into your mind, choose everything you eat, choose everything you do. Your ability to choose is your gold medal. That is why a life accountant can never be found in the act of pleasing people. Let me share my story with you all. Yes, I was once a people pleaser. I wanted to see people around me happy. I wanted people's approval with whatsoever I choose. I allowed people's voices be the lead in my life. And the result of that was a total breakdown. I was on the verge of losing it. I was on the verge of losing my life. I was on the verge of losing my destiny. And I was on the verge of losing my calling. But one thing remained with me, that God was always by my side, and He wanted me to learn lessons from those experiences and come out of that situation courageous. I don't know who might be asking, am I a people pleaser? Have I given away my authority to others? How do I even dictate whether I'm a people pleaser? Let me tell you, not being a people pleaser does not mean you're going to be bold, loud, authoritative, or a bully. No, that makes you an empty vessel. That makes you a weakling. Remember, the empty vessels make the loudest noise. What makes you a person who is not a people pleaser lies in your action and your decisions and your results. By default, it will reflect in your life. So you might be saying, yes, I'm not a people pleaser, because you challenge people, you fight people, you enter into quarrel, your voice is always the loudest. No, that doesn't make you someone who doesn't please people. In fact, that makes you not to be able to hear your own voice. I want to remind you of this, that this one life liability of people pleasing is not something you can eliminate once in your life. It's a gradual process. Remember, the journey of becoming a life accountant is not a day's journey. It's a continuous process. It's an everyday journey. It's an intentional journey. So I'm here to tell you and encourage you that it will not be an easy one to eliminate entirely the act of pleasing people. But with true intentionality, true purpose, and true action, you can be able to eliminate it entirely from your life. My dear life accountants, I will always leave you with a reflective question, because the essence of always sharing this video is not just for you to watch, learn, and go. No, it's for you to sit down with your own life and think and reflect and apply. So my reflexive question for you today is: 1. Ask yourself, am I a people pleaser? 2. In what way have I allowed people's opinion take the lead in my life? 3. What can I do to start eliminating them entirely from my life in order to achieve my greater purpose and be able to account to the one who has sent me? Remember, my dear lovely accountants, be the accountant of your life. Peace out.